Kunautu. My name is Brenda and I am from the Choni tribe, which is part of the 9 tribes of the Mijikenda group in Kenya.
Hi, my name is Ngala Mwendwa, and as my name suggests, I am from the Kamba tribe. And in this video, I'll be taking you through our culture.
Jenny, and I think in Kikuyu it's said as Netagwa Jenny Mokeni Wakamau. I'll be representing Kikuyu and Kamba during this video. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hello, my name is Roy Kinuthia. I'm Kenyan, and for the sake of this video, I'll be looking at Kikuyu culture.
Nziva Nanga, Brandon Inziria Chegema, Mbe Umurushia, Umurogori. Meaning, my name is Brandon Inziria Chegema. I am a Luya from the Maragoli clan.
So the second thing we'll be tackling is whether our cultures define us, whether we define our cultures. In this case, I think in present time, we define our cultures. In the past times, there was a lot of cultural norms that were really imposed, but right now, I think there's a lot of influence, so to some extent we define our culture, and also there's external influence on our culture.
For me, I would say that our culture does define us, and at the same time, we also define our culture, in the sense that we still practice the things that we're bounded to do by our culture, and at the same time we tend to break free and make our own decisions about our new practices, forming a new culture.
Our culture defines us, especially here in Kenya, where we do a lot of most of our practices are based on our culture. For example, in marriage or in the way we conduct our lives. As you can see, in Kenya, our culture has a really strong say in how we conduct our lives and what we do. Yeah.
I would say that both our cultures define us and we define our culture because our culture constitutes the environment that we grow up in. So in that sense, we are nurtured by it. But at the same time, as we grow older and we start to become more aware of our beliefs, our interests, our likes, then we also start to define our own culture based off of that.
Culture does define us. Things to do with naming. Like in Kikuyu, the firstborn daughter is named after the mother of the father. Yes. And I think it starts with Wanjiro, then Wanjiko, then it continues all the way down. There's also dowry and ratios. I mean, I also want, I've never attended one, but I hope to attend one in the near future. Culture does not define us. An example could be naming. People not having to carry that culture or naming the child after somebody. So like people name them Pendo or Bahati or whatever that they'd like to. And then there's also the thing about land, how in the olden days or in the past, or in cultures, they used to only give men land. But now we've seen inheritance being passed on to
The third question is, are we as Kenyans proud of our culture? I think as a whole we are. We really love our food, we really represent our music, our art and everything like that. But in Kikuyu community, I don't think there's much of that. I think that a lot of that was lost once this new generation came in, which had a lot of influence from the Western culture. So I don't really think as a Kikuyu culture we're really that proud.
Cultures in Kenya are something to be proud of, and everyone's culture is unique. But we have bottlenecks such as tribalism, nepotism, amongst others that bring a strain to the community.
As a Kenyan, we're really proud of our culture, and this is represented by how most of us really have these wristbands that we normally wear to show we are Kenyans, and it's also like the most common thing that unites all of us. So I could say that we are really proud of our culture.
I would say yes. In Kenya, we are proud of our culture, and that's represented in the language, in the traditions, the food like the nyama choma, or the traditional markets and aspects like the Maasai markets that are there, even in the city markets.
For the fourth question, we'll be looking at whether there are any stereotypes in our culture. And I don't think there's any definite stereotype except maybe those there's a lot of assumptions that Kikuyus love money, but I think everyone loves money, so it's not much of a stereotype. And it was based on like many Kikuyus being into business.
I personally have not faced any stereotype because of my culture or stigmatization because of it, but I am aware of the ones that are there. And I would say no, they have no basis or foundation. They're just based on folk tales and etc.
A stereotype in the Leah community would be that we are unusually strong. And when it comes to food, it is known, or rather it is said, that we eat a lot and that we really love ugali and tea.
Personally, I don't think I've experienced stereotypic behavior because of my culture.
In our culture, we're perceived to be very trustworthy people and very approachable and really honest.
Last question is, as a community, would I like to change anything in the tribe? And I think maybe the pride, especially among the younger generations, we need to know about our communities and just have pride in them.
I love my culture, so no, I don't think I'll change anything about my culture. Period.
I would change the marriage and the burial protocols because they can be a strain on the people involved.
I wouldn't change anything about my culture or my tribe. I really like it. I like all aspects of it.
Generally, I wouldn't change anything about my culture. I don't think we have negative aspects about it, so
I would say something fascinating about my culture is the food. Because it's located in the coastal region, we have access to a lot of different types of foods that aren't there in a lot of other tribes, like the seafood and all that. So I think that's particularly interesting, especially stuff like shark or like